Sorry, I get distracted by animals. But before we start photographing that thing, I have a very important tip. Between 0.6 to 2 seconds, I think that's a sweet spot. It's a very Korean thing to see, actually. Rocks and pine trees and stuff. I trust my judgment. You know, that's what I really trust. From there to there, I'm gonna shoot 5 images and then I'm gonna stitch them together. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is RT Lee. If you don't know me, I'm a landscape photographer based in South Korea. And behind me is actually the hotel. Now, my wife has been nagging me for 3 days straight to show you guys these hotel buildings because there are traditional Korean buildings called hanok. And we've been staying there with floors heated. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And I really didn't want to show you guys the place where we're staying because it just looks like I'm advertising this place, but I'm not. They didn't pay me anything, but yeah, it's just so that I can satisfy my wife. All right, so let's get into the car. It's bloody cold. All right, so today's objective is to shoot 2 locations. The first location, we have beautiful columnar joints, which is still really hard to pronounce. And the second location, we have beautiful sea stacks and stuff. But these both places I have never been, so I don't know what to expect. And I bet the columnar joints place is like full of tourists and stuff because it's a touristy spot. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to shoot there, but still, that's my job. So let's get to it. All right, let's go. Now we're going to the columnar joints where we can actually photograph this beautiful nature's architect. That's what I call it. Yeah, check this out. This is where you can actually see the columnar joints from up top, but I don't plan. Oh, hey buddy. Hey. Sorry, I get distracted by animals. Anyways, this is an observation deck, but we're not going there because you can't set up your tripod there. So we're just gonna walk around this observation deck and make a video around. All right, I've set up my composition right here, and I'm currently, focused on the sea stack or the columnar joints itself. But before we start photographing that thing, I have a very important tip, which is always bring your lens cloth everywhere, because you gotta, clean your lens as often as possible if you want your lens and your photos to be clean and sharp, So, small tip from me. Always bring your lens cloth, and don't mind the subscribe thing. It's just it's just a design. Yeah, subscribe please. All right, so I've got my first composition right here, which is this joints and one big rock in front of it, which is also a patch of columns. Now I've got my polarizer on to cut off the glare from the water, and that's good. Also, I'm gonna use my 6 stopper, so it will be a long exposure shot. All right, so that's my wife, as you can see, who's always following me, and this is my composition right here, and I've got my 3-stopper on, actually 6-stopper on, and my polarizer. So before I thought I was using my 6-stopper, but actually it was a 10-stopper. That's why I had to boost up my ISO, and it was like 30 seconds or something. But now I've got it perfectly. So ISO 100, f11 at 1.3 seconds. Now when you're shooting long exposures, you don't want to always shoot it super long, because sometimes you want to use your long exposure technique to capture the perfect motion of the waves, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. So 1.3 seconds should be good enough to capture the power of that water, you know, coming in and going out. It's usually, you know, between 0.6 to 2 seconds. I think that's the sweet spot for shooting waves. So I'm gonna shoot it now. So I'm waiting until the water comes in to these columns, between these columns. And when it does, there we go. 2-second timer. There we go. One more. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh yeah. All right, let's see. Yes. So it created this powerful motion of the waves, and that's just what I really love, you know. All right, so without further ado, here's my first shot of the day.
The columnar joints were beautiful. Standing there, surrounded by swirling waves, it almost felt like I could sense the power of the hot lava that formed them. One sad thing about the location was that it was heavily fenced, so I couldn't go down to shoot from a closer distance. But I did what I could, and I think the shot is not bad.
All right, so now that we're done here, now let's move to our second location. So let me first pack my bag. There we go. Now we have to drive for like another 10 minutes from here, and it's not that far, so let's go. All right, 10 minutes of driving, and we're finally here in this, well, it seems dead, pretty much. Just look at this. I mean, this is a hotel, Cologne Hotel, and that's a pension, they say, but it looks, everything's just dead. Well, it's fine. Well, this is why I'm here. So you see that rocks with sea stacks with trees and stuff. That's why I'm here. I just figured that, you know, I could make some panoramic images of those sea stacks, you know, like sea stack on the left and right on the screen, and that kind of shot. But we'll see. It's my first time being here, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to shoot, actually. And man, just spending 3 days outside for, you know, photography is so much fun. I love doing this. God. All right. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so we have a very good news. We just found a good composition right from the start. So I don't even have to change my lens. I just need my 100 to 400 mil right here. And yeah, I'm just gonna shoot it. So it's this lone pine tree growing on the sea stack. And I think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's a very Korean thing to see, actually. Rocks and pine trees and stuff. So there we go. Okay, let me zoom out a little. So probably this will be a 1x1 crop or 4x5. ISO 100. No need for You know what? I want to make this perfect. So I'm just going to use my filter. So bear with me. I think out of all filters, my polarizer, I mean, anyone needs a polarizer. Absolute must. And I didn't bring my adapter ring again. Okay, so bear with me again. Alright, so I've got my polarizer on to make the sky a little bit dark. There we go. And that gives me ISO 100, f11, and 125th of a second. So there we go. Let's check the sharpness. Yep, that's sharp. Now I'm gonna make one more shot. So one vertical and one horizontal. That's because these rocks have some kind of patterns like Godzilla's dorsal fins, and I think with horizontal shot, the bottom side of the image will be full of these, you know, rocks like that. So I think it'll be interesting. There we go. And well, that's pretty much it. This is done. Now I don't know which one I will use, the vertical or horizontal, but yeah, maybe I'll show you both. So here are the shots.
I really like this one. It almost looks like a traditional Korean folding screen. The weird looking rocks and the lone pine tree growing on them give a sense of how life finds a way to survive even under strange conditions. I also really like the black and white patterns on the rock. They give the feeling that it was painted.
Alright, so that now we're done shooting that pine tree, lone pine tree growing on a sea stack. Now let's get closer and shoot the shot that I wanted to shoot, which is this wide angle panoramic shot of two sea stacks. So the pine tree one is actually the sea stack on the right from what I am expecting, the image. And there's another sea stack on the left. So I think there will be two sea stacks in the shot, and well, it will look nice, I hope. Or not, I don't know. To be honest, I stopped expecting things because, you know, without expectations, you never feel disappointed. So I just stopped expecting things, and I trust my judgment. You know, that's what I really trust. I trust that I can make good shots even though the conditions are horrible. So yeah, I started doing that. Yeah. All right, we're here. Let's shoot it. All right, guys, so we're here. As you can see, there are two sea stacks here, right and left, and that's what I'm going to shoot. Now, with 16 mil, the edges are just a little bit short. It's just cut in the middle here. So I'm gonna have to make a panoramic shot by shooting at least 5 images. So from there to there, I'm gonna shoot 5 images, and then I'm gonna stitch them together. Now, one problem is that I'm not really sure if this will work because it's a 16 mil, which means there will be a lot of distortion. However, I'm not going to use filters. I'm not going to use anything, just my camera and my lens. That's it. So let's hope that it works. All right. All right, so I'm here trying to shoot this panoramic shot. Now, I got my shot framed up here, and this will be shot 1, shot 2, shot 3, shot 4, and shot 5, like that. So the whole of this, I'll cover it. So first, let's shoot our first shot of the day. First shot of this panoramic shot. ISO 100, f11, 125th of a second, and 2-second timer. There we go. Spin the camera. Shot 2. There we go. Spin the camera. Shot 3. Focus on the rock that's in the middle. And shot 4. And shot 5. Now there's a slight vignetting, and I'm not really sure if this panoramic shot will stitch well. So therefore, I'm going to make one shot without any panoramic movement. So I'm just gonna shoot it as large as I can, including this pine tree here, and there we go. So ISO 100, f11 and 125th of a second. There we go. So this shot is a backup shot or plan B shot, that insurance shot, so basically if I fail to stitch them together. And as always, I make one black image to tell my future self that I'm gonna have to stitch these photos together. So there we go. And if this shot turns out as great as I think, then, although I think it will not be, but here's the shot.
This is the panoramic image that I wanted to capture. Although I was worried that the distortion of my lens would be too great for Photoshop to stitch the photos together, it did a wonderful job. I think I will revisit this place another time when the sun is setting or rising, as I am not entirely satisfied with this shot. Out of the previous panoramic shot, I found another composition. I simply cropped the image and focused on the rock on the right with the lone tree on it. I like how the light is hitting from the side, making the tree glow slightly. Not a bad shot to mark the end of my journey. The photo trip to Gyeongju was easier than my previous trip to Busan. Thankfully, this time I wasn't sick and I was full of energy to take photos here and there. I am glad I tried something new for the channel, shooting night cityscapes with illuminated traditional buildings. And of course, the usual natural landscapes as well. I hope you found this series interesting, and as always, thank you so much for watching and see you next time.